Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about jury duty in the American legal system and how something happens. Because I got a message from Germany, and it's one of those things that is just apparently uniquely American that it needs to be explained. So the person was like, hey, I've started following more and more American news, and I've started seeing more and more stories about people who were convicted, went to prison, and then years later are exonerated by some piece of physical evidence. How did this person end up in prison? Don't you have a jury system? We do. We do have a jury system. There's a number of issues with the culture surrounding our jury system and jury duty and the way people look at it. For a long time, it was a running gag to talk about how you would get out of jury duty on sitcoms, on stand-up comedians, specials, everything. So people started trying to do it more and more, which leaves you with a whole bunch of people on the jury that weren't quick-witted enough to come up with a method of getting out of it. You also have an issue where those people who are most skeptical of law enforcement, those people who would listen to the cop's testimony and be like, yeah, I don't believe this person, they have a bad view of the criminal justice system. Therefore, they don't want to participate in it. And they try to get out of it, or when they're being asked questions, they say something that gets them disqualified. By the time this is all said and done, the bulk of people who end up on a jury are people who may not have the best critical thinking skills and people who defer to law enforcement, people who basically would trust the cop's hunch. And this leads to a lot of wrongful convictions. It's not everybody on the jury, but I would say most probably fall into that, which means the 2 or 3 that are left, they have 9 people in the room, or however many people in the room, depending on the state, I guess, saying guilty. And eventually they get worn down. And those people who are most interested in correcting the criminal justice system, since they don't want to participate in it, they're not there. They're not in the room. And that leads to a whole lot of people doing a whole bunch of time that maybe they shouldn't have. The standards of evidence in this country, it doesn't quite measure up to the way it gets portrayed in movies and on TV a lot. So that's where the system arises. So if you are one of those people who is skeptical of, a police press release, maybe next time, don't, talk about your grandma being sick. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.